Good morning, Year 2, or good afternoon, depends when you're doing this piece of writing work. Hello, Year 2. I've started off today's English session by reminding myself about what we did yesterday, and I've used two colours. Really think that helps me to remember where my two clauses are in my sentence. So I'm just going to read them to you, because remember yesterday we were focusing on when, which showed us when something happened, the time that something occurred, time that something happened for Christopher Columbus. So I need to check a few things. I need to check I've used a capital letter and a full stop at the end. I need to check I've used the conjunction when, and we were using it in the middle yesterday. And I need to check that my first clause makes sense all on its own. My second clause doesn't. Remember, it's called a subordinate clause. So let's have a check. Columbus dreamed of going out to sea. Columbus dreamed of going out to sea. Could put a full stop there. It does make sense on its own. Subordinate clause. When he was a young boy. So if I say that as a clause on its own, when he was a young boy, doesn't make sense. We don't know what he did when he was a young boy, which is why it has to link to this first clause. Okay, let's try my second one. The king and queen refused to help when Columbus asked for ships. So again, I've got a clause that makes sense on its own. I've got my capital letter. I've got my clause that does not make sense on its own. It's subordinate. Think of a submarine again. Remember, submarine below. It's not good enough to be up on top on its own. It has to be below. So it has to be, doesn't quite make sense on its own. It's not strong enough. So here we go. When Columbus asked for ships. And I've got my conjunctions when. And today we are moving on. We're aim high mountain goats, and we're going to make links. We're going to be making link spiders today as well, because we are not just going to use the conjunction when. Today we are also going to use a few others which will do the same job or similar jobs of adding a subordinate clause. So can I use subordinating conjunctions? Yes, of course we can. And here are our ones for today. So today I'd like you to try and use the word because. Now, because shows cause and effect, a relationship between two things. He went to sleep because he was tired. Because he was tired. Of course, that's why he went to sleep. So there's a very clear link there. Sleepy. Because we went to sleep because he was tired. There we go. When we practiced lots and lots yesterday, it shows the time and tells us when, of course, something happened. He rubbed his eyes when he woke up. And finally today we have the conjunction if. Now this shows a condition, and you think about this when your mum or dad are asking you to do something. Perhaps you won't be able to watch the film later if you don't tidy up your toys. You won't be able, or you will be able to go to the park if you put your welly boots on. So it shows a condition. You won't know what to do if you don't listen. Or you will not. You will know what to do if you do listen. So these are our words today: because, when, and if. Let's see if we can add them to some sentences. We're going to extend these sentences using one of the subordinating conjunctions. I'll just write them up here. There we go. So if you want to pause a video and have a look and see if you can read the blue sentences and finish them off using one of our conjunctions, then that's great. Press play when you're ready. Christopher Columbus sailed west. I think he sailed west because of something. Oops. Back in the right position. Because he thought it would be quicker. Remember that from the story of Christopher Columbus. He thought it would be quicker to get to the Indies by going west. Instead, he actually hit America, didn't he? So let's see if our sentence now makes sense. Christopher Columbus sailed west because he thought it would be quicker. Fantastic. And I've got two different colours. One for my subordinate clause, put this one in red, and one for my independent clause. Let's try our next one. Columbus loved watching the sea in the distance. I don't think there's an if we can add there very easily. I don't think there's a because. Loved sea. Maybe a because, but I might be speculating. That means I might be guessing. But I'm going to use something that I know because we're writing a non-chronological report, which is the truth. So let's find out if I can use when. When he was a young boy. Now I know that from the story of Christopher Columbus, so it's the truth, and I've used the conjunction when to add more detail. Columbus loved watching the sea in the distance when he was a young boy. Just to do another check again, does this make sense on its own when he was a young boy? Or what happened when he was a young boy? We only know the what if we read our first independent clause as well. Let's do our third one. Columbus wouldn't have discovered America. Oh, I think that's maybe an if. So Columbus wouldn't have discovered America if he had sailed east. Remember, most people at that time in history knew that the Indies, as they were called, around Asia, they knew that those places were east, but Columbus thought he might be able to go west and be quicker. So Columbus wouldn't have discovered America if he had sailed east. Okay, I think I've added information onto each of these sentences which is linked. Sailed west because he thought it'd be quicker. Loved watching the sea when he was a young boy. Wouldn't have discovered America if he had sailed east. Okay, so I've used one of my three conjunctions each time. I've added and extended those sentences. I've made sure that I've got my capital letter at the beginning and my capital letter for names or the direction west or the place America. I've also made sure I've got my full stops at the end of my sentence. And when you do your work today, I think it would be really good to use two different colours like I have to show where your different clauses are. Okay, so your activities today are the same as they have been the last few days. Let's see if I can share something different with you just to see what the activities look like. There's my screen, there it is. Okay, so activity 1 shows us lots of different clauses and you need to join them with the word when or the word if or the word because. When you've joined them, then you write that sentence down. Activity 2 gives you sentence starters, just like I did on my screen then. And you need to put in your conjunction and finish the sentence off. Columbus became a sailor when? Well, Columbus became a sailor because. Columbus became a sailor if. Not sure if works with that one. I think we'll have to use when or because, but I'll let you decide. Activity number 3 is the same as it has been the last few days, and it is all over to you to see if you can come up with your own independent clause, your own bit that makes sense on its own, and your own subordinate clause, the bit that doesn't make sense on its own with your conjunction at the front of it. Okay, we will look forward to reading all of your lovely sentences, and I'll see you soon, Year 2. Bye bye.